Just about 15 minutes ago, I was updated that this fire is now 100 acres. Inhaling too much water into their lungs. Good evening, Greta. I just talked to the Haley police chief. Now, Roland, I know that you have a car out here in this parking lot. Just over here to my left is another canal that they're using to gather some of the water. How about I take this one, you get in yours, and we go see who can beat each other? The organization says that they have already represented 4 Boise couples. Officers are coming and going from the scene. Good evening, Greta. This news comes as a complete surprise to a lot of people. The burn scar literally came right up to some of these properties. They're actually taking small little pebbles, placing them in the door, propping it open so they can get in and out. So I'm gonna walk you around here and guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold. Oh, I've been falling in the water again. Good evening, Donna Michelle. There are no reported incidents of this sort of drowning here in Idaho. However, 4 kids across the country have died as a result of this drowning. It's something that parents need to know about and to watch out for. A hot Idaho summer day can only mean one thing.
This got here a couple minutes ago.
Hundreds of youngsters, like 5-year-old Sam, are packing area pools.
Put my feet in the water. It was cool.
The chance to cool off also comes with danger, one parents likely haven't heard of. Some refer to it as secondary or dry drowning. They only account for 1 to 3% of drownings.
It's good to know that I still need to be careful even if we went home and they survived whatever incident was in the pool.
Doctors say this phenomenon normally happens when someone jumps into the water too quickly. Inhaling too much water into their lungs.
Children who had definitely had a significant aspiration event will have a lot of cough, any kind of blue discoloration in the fingertips or the lips themselves, retractions, meaning sinking in between the ribs themselves, belly breathing, nasal flaring.
Symptoms don't show up right away. They usually start a few hours after exiting the pool, sometimes even a day later. The biggest sign of a problem, trouble breathing. Mark Urban is a pediatric emergency room doctor at St. Luke's. He says if not taken seriously, the consequences can be deadly. The
water will actually displace the soap in the lungs called surfactant, and that's what's responsible for keeping our airways expanded. Eventually, with that, can affect cardiac and brain function. Dr. Urban and water safety experts say the best way to protect your children is to watch them closely, and of course, swim lessons.
Know where your kids are and know what their ability is, and, encourage recreation with them in the water recreation.
A valuable lesson that could save a life. Now, Dr. Urban tells me that this sort of thing doesn't just happen in pools, it can happen anywhere that a kid can get into water. Around this curve in the road, a few miles north of Horseshoe Bend, sits a place few visit, but many drive past. A place where nature sings and the river flows freely. But look closely through the grass and the fallen branches. Do you see it? That yellow envelope. What looks like trash on a rural country hillside is really a tiny treasure, unearthed by a state forest worker who doesn't want to be recognized. Tucked tightly away inside, a family heirloom, a gold Mother's Day ring. Along with it, an original receipt dated November 27th, 1979. The customer's name, Miriam Vertrees. In hopes of tracking down the owner, the anonymous finder turned to On Your Side. After weeks of searching, I found Miriam's daughter, Tana Dyer, now living in Oregon. I think I have something that might belong to you.
I have to say it's a really nice gift because my mom passed away and there wasn't a whole lot of things to remember her by. So, it's pretty cool.
Miriam died last year. She didn't leave much behind. Just the memories she created with her 2 daughters.
It's crazy because I've just thought all along I wish, she was only 59 when she died. So I keep thinking, would there have been a letter or would there have been something? So just kind of dropped out of nowhere.
Tana isn't sure where the ring came from. She doesn't remember it as a kid and has no idea how it could have ended up more than 50 miles from the place her mom called home.
My dad and mom did a lot of camping and motorcycle riding and things like that, so I don't know, maybe she dropped it.
It's a little bit of a mystery for Tana, a mystery that may never have answers, but certainly one Tana is happy to have.
It's more than the $79 receipt, memories, and pretty cool. Yeah, it's like she's coming back to talk to us. Yeah, definitely. It's pretty cool. Thank you.
Chris Oswalt, Idaho on your side. Good evening, Roland and Michelle. People have been allowed back in. These homes here are just some of the 28 homes that were evacuated because of the fire. These homes went untouched, but you can clearly see just how close this fire came to these homes. The burn scar literally came right up to some of these properties. I just talked to one woman who said her whole entire home is surrounded by a burn scar, and she says that these firefighters are angels for saving her home. Now, they are still out here tonight and remaining on alert in case anything flares up. They're also making sure that their the hot spots are put out as investigators question a suspect.
There was a lot of fear.
The threat was real.
We could see the blackening sky.
The Colorado Gulch fire burned more than 715 acres just outside of Haley, putting homes in his path in jeopardy.
We're so done with fires.
The fire started late Sunday night and quickly grew, forcing firefighters to evacuate more than 24 homes by 2 o'clock Monday afternoon. Crews from several departments fought the flames from the ground and the air using water from the Wood River to extinguish the fire. Blaine County Sheriff Gene Ramsey says the fire is human-caused, likely the result of fireworks.
We do have a suspect. We've done an interview in connection with the Bureau of the Interior. And so BLM, my officers, have got a confession from an 18-year-old, and we're still working that case.
As police question their possible suspect, fire crews are keeping a close eye on the area and getting praise from locals. Thankful more damage wasn't done.
We are so happy that the brave firefighters got out there. I saw 4 trucks going out when it was still daylight. I am so impressed that you're putting that fire down.
Now back out here live, you can see members of the Wood River Valley Fire Department and the BLM still out here putting making sure that the fire is out, controlling the hot spots, as I said earlier. Now they're going to be out here throughout the evening to make sure that this fire does not flare back up. They say that the fire is under control, and again, people are being allowed back into their homes. Michelle.
All right, Chris, one thing Roland was just mentioning as he's sitting here talking with me is that you thought that Haley, after last year's huge fire, would be the one place that would be safe from fires this year. So explain to folks how close these two fires came to one another, last year's and this year's.
It came very close. I'm going to walk you around here, and just as you go across this road, you're going to see a green-looking fence here. That area of the mountain is where the fire burned last year. Some of these people that were evacuated this year were actually evacuated last year. They say that this is just like a deja vu all over again, something that they don't want to go through again. You heard in the story there, the woman says they're done with fires.
No doubt. No doubt. Chris.
Good evening, Don and Michelle. It started out with a simple post on Facebook challenging some friends to make a donation to help little Landon Shaw's family pay for his medical expenses, or to take a plunge in a very large, cool body of water like the one behind me. Tonight, Landon's story is inspiring thousands around the world.
Ready, set, go! Oh! 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 2, 3, go!
With the splash of water comes a show of support for a little boy looking for some love. Thousands of people are taking the plunge for Landon Shaw. Landon has stage 4 brain cancer that has spread rapidly through his body. News of his illness has spread just as rapid. Across the world, random strangers are battling the bitter cold water to help raise money to pay for Landon's medical expenses. So here's how this whole process works. Once you're nominated to take the Polar Challenge, in my case by my brother in Iowa, you have 2 options. You either have to make a $100 donation in Landon's name, or you have to take a plunge into a body of water that is freezing cold. It didn't take long for the challenge to go viral. Now people from all over are challenging their friends to take the plunge. even paying up for ones that accept.
Anything that gets people to rally behind a good cause seems great.
Seth Ashley is a professor of communications at BSU. He credits social media for spreading the challenge into towns where no one had ever heard of Little Landon.
Want to make something, catch on and spread, it needs to have an emotion attached to it.
Proving that when the power of social media meets the power of human nature, good things can happen. All right, guys, you heard it in my package. My brother challenged me to this challenge, and on a very windy, very rainy, a very cold night, on behalf of Idaho on Your Side, I gladly do this one for you, Little Landon.
Oh!
There he goes.
Dunk, Chris.
And we should point out that I think it's about 3 feet deep there, so I think he's doing okay. But the water looks freezing now.
Oh my goodness.
Well, wait.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold. Now I've been falling in the water again.
Chris,
Hey,
we forgot to tell you something, though, that the station has already committed $100 to the cause. We meant to tell you that.
Pay up.
We forgot.
Now you tell me.
Well, you were supposed to remind me to tell him.
This is not cool, guys.
Well, yes, it is cool. It's really cool.
Well, it's very cold out here, but you know what? It's for a really good cause. I'm out of breath. So,
okay.
If you guys want to help out, or the viewers want to help out, all you have to do is go to On Your Side, Idaho On Your Side for more information.
Awesome. Fantastic.
And of course, post it on Facebook.
Thanks for the story, Chris.
Good evening, Donna Michelle here at Zanies, where Bo worked. Support is shown with yellow ribbons and yellow balloons, but elsewhere others are finding support and comfort in nature and on their own 2 feet. On the edge of Haley, where the Wood River runs,
it just reminds me of everything that he's done and what he's been fighting for,
sets the Bow Bridge. Since it was constructed just a few years ago, people in this small Idaho town have walked its planks with one person on their mind, Bo Bergdahl.
Freedom to me is so important. So for him to go and fight for our freedom and then lose his and a big part of his life, yeah, that is huge. So it does make me a little emotional.
While many walk across the Bow Bridge and think of Bo Bergdahl, this bridge really wasn't named after Bo. It was named after its anonymous donor, who was an avid archer. But for people who use this bridge almost daily, the design's purpose or not, the Bow Bridge will always serve as a reminder.
Keep going and cross that bridge, right? Get to the other side and grass is greener over there. So hopefully that'll be what happens for him when he gets home.
Now, the organization who built the bridge, the Wood River Land Trust, says they haven't had any complaints or heard of any confusion over the bridge names and who it was named after. People here say that they always thought that it was named after Bo. We're live in Haley tonight. Chris Oswalt, Today 6 on Your Side.